Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carrell. My goodness. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. We have another show on Apple Plus. Already reviewed C earlier today, and now the morning show talking about one of the most stacked casts I have seen all year in a television show. I need your thoughts down below. Are you getting Apple Plus? And if you have it, are you going to watch this? So the morning show is an inside look at the lives of the people who help America wake up in the morning, exploring the unique challenges faced by the men and women who carry out this daily televised ritual. Like I said, this cast, and I didn't even mention Billy Crudup and Mark Duplass. You can't deny the fact that the sheer talent here will elevate the show past its material. Not to say that the material is lacking. If you guys have seen the trailer, you have seen episode 1. Episode 1 of the morning show, I was very hesitant to continue watching just because I did not get a ton out of it. It was really hard to relate to these characters, not a lot of emotional depth. You understand the story going in, it gives you that, but not much more. So I was afraid to continue to see where the show was going to take me. Of course, we're talking about the first 3 episodes today because that's what they dropped on Apple Plus. Thankfully, we got 3 because if it was just 1, I would be very nervous right now. But I have to say, the show, in the same vein as C, does get better as it goes along, except I was so much more on board with this show at the end as opposed to the beginning, because not that it's extremely heavy-handed. I know a lot are going to have worries going in. Does the morning show kind of hit you over the top of the head with certain themes? And even those who agree with everything that they say about this entire Me Too movement, because that's what the first episode focuses on, it does a good job as we progress through the show, showing both sides. But in the first episode, it's really kind of all about one side, which is, what you have to do to establish this situation. But even those who are all for that movement, once again, I don't want to get into my personal opinions. Even they'll sit back and go, well, it's a little heavy-handed. And it is. And that was one of the off-putting things about the show. That and the fact that I just couldn't really connect with any of the characters on one side of the fence or the other. I just didn't get a lot from this entire premise. And that was disappointing at first. But at the end of episode 2, they kind of start to set up what this show actually is. So you have Steve Carell's character, and Mitch has been kicked out of his co-anchor position as Alex is now, she's kind of the lone wolf, right? They're on the search for a new co-anchor, and in comes Reese Witherspoon's character, who is just so good in this role. She plays the character of Bradley, and Bradley is literally the opposite of Alex. One is supposed to be this conservative journalist. The other, well, you'll understand how Jennifer Aniston plays this character from the first scene alone. So they're consistently butting heads as we're moving throughout the first 3 episodes once they actually get the chance to talk to each other. At first, and I'm not going to lie to you, when they do this passive-aggressive conversation that those two have, this scene where Alex is interviewing the character of Bradley, it is just so frustrating to watch because it's like, I know passive-aggressive people to this extent in the entire conversation. You feel that cringe while you're watching, and granted, it was trying to make you feel that because it was an uncomfortable situation, but I don't particularly enjoy shows that try to evoke that emotion consistently, which is kind of what it was doing throughout the first episode. And the first episode is just really frustrating, the situation that everyone kind of has themselves in. They're in a dark place in their lives, just trying to figure this thing out. But once everything begins to get sorted out in that second episode, and you see where the show is going, and you start to flesh out that dynamic between those two a bit more, and then you get into episode 3 with some incredible monologues from both Aniston and Witherspoon. Not to say that Carell is bad, but he is not as forefront in this show as some of the other characters, even Duplass, and probably, maybe Crudup has just as much screen time as Carell, which is disappointing because I love Steve Carell, but when you realize where the show is going at the end of episode 3, you're kind of on board. At least I was on board with these two characters butting heads. You realize how different they are, and then you understand that they're exploring kind of the ins and outs of the news industry, how, not corrupt, but how crazy, hectic things get on the inside. Corporate overlords just kind of go for it because that's what gets views, that's what gets clicks. It all comes down to today's age, really, but it's today's news industry, and it did feel real to me. it just had to find its own, and it got there in episode 3. And like I said, the monologues are great, the conversations are interesting. Even Carell's character, Mitch, not as forefront as I want him to be, but I'm intrigued to see where he's going to go. The morning show does get better. If you're not on board with episode 1, I encourage you to keep watching and see if it hooks you. If you are on board, it will only get better. So, I'm not going to rate the entire series because I want to do that at the end. I want to give the show a chance to get better and better and better. But if you're asking for a recommendation, I say yes. I say check out the morning show on Apple Plus. Once again, if you guys want to do a 7-day free trial, you can do that. See if you like the platform. The next show I'm tackling is Dickinson. I cannot wait. I've heard great things about that show. I've heard okay things about all of these, but Dickinson is one that I've been very interested in. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Dickinson review will probably be out tomorrow morning. Let me know if there's anything else that dropped this weekend that you guys want to see from me. I truly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, and you will get more Apple TV Plus reviews. You're the very best. I'll see you soon.